The phone rang at 2 a.m., shattering the silence in Alex Thompson's modest Brooklyn apartment. He fumbled for it, heart pounding, only to hear his daughter Emily's voice, ice cold and final. "Dad, if you can't pay for the wedding, don't bother coming. And don't call me anymore." In that instant, 25 years of single-handedly raising her flashed before him. The sleepless nights, the sacrifices, the hidden pain of being a gay man in a world that judged him for it, all crumbling because of a luxury venue she demanded but he couldn't afford. Alex stared at the ceiling, the weight of betrayal pressing down like a physical force. He'd come out late in life, after his marriage to Emily's mother dissolved in quiet resentment. Back then, in the early 2000s, being gay in suburban New Jersey wasn't just taboo. It was a scarlet letter. His ex-wife, Sarah, had left him custody of their toddler daughter, saying she needed a fresh start far away. Alex had agreed, terrified that a custody battle would expose his secret and cost him Emily forever. So he buried his truth, poured every ounce of energy into being the perfect father. PTA meetings, soccer games, bake sales. He worked 2 jobs, graphic designer by day, bartender by night, to give her the stability he never had growing up in a conservative family that disowned him at 18 for unnatural inclinations. But secrets have a way of surfacing. When Emily was 12, she found an old photo of Alex with his college boyfriend, tucked away in a drawer. "Dad, are you gay?" she'd asked, eyes wide with confusion. Alex had nodded, bracing for the storm, but Emily hugged him fiercely. "I love you no matter what," she said. It was a moment of pure relief, the first time he'd felt truly seen. From then on, he slowly integrated his identity into their life. He dated quietly, never bringing anyone home until Emily was older. She seemed accepting, even attending pride parades with him in Manhattan. "You're my hero, Dad," she'd say, making him believe they'd beaten the odds. Yet, beneath that facade, cracks were forming. Emily's high school friends whispered about her weird family, and she started pulling away during her teen years. College at NYU amplified it, surrounded by progressive peers. But deep down, she carried the baggage of societal stares and her mother's occasional jabs during rare visits. Alex sensed it but pushed it aside, focusing on her happiness. He remortgaged the apartment to cover her tuition, skipped vacations to fund her study abroad in Europe. "Anything for you, kiddo," he'd say, masking his growing isolation. Now, at 48, Alex was dating Mark, a kind-hearted teacher he'd met at a support group for LGBTQ parents. Mark was everything Alex had dreamed of: patient, funny, with a warmth that thawed the frost of years alone. Their relationship was steady, built on shared walks in Central Park and quiet dinners. But Emily had met Mark only a handful of times, always polite but distant. "He's nice, Dad," she'd say, changing the subject. Alex chalked it up to adjustment, but the truth was sharper. Emily struggled with the visibility of her father's sexuality, especially as her own life ascended into polished perfection. The wedding planning had started innocently enough. Emily, now 25 and engaged to her college sweetheart, Jason, a rising finance guy, dreamed big. "I want the plaza. Dad, it's iconic," she'd gushed over brunch. Alex smiled, but his stomach twisted. The venue alone cost $50,000, more than his annual salary. "Honey, that's steep. Maybe something more intimate." But Emily's eyes hardened. "You've always said you'd do anything for me. This is my once-in-a-lifetime day." Guilt gnawed at him. Had he overcompensated, spoiling her to make up for the absent mother and the non-traditional family? As the weeks turned to months, the demands escalated. Designer gown, live band, floral arches that rivaled royal weddings. Alex dipped into savings, maxed credit cards, even asked Mark for a loan, which strained their budding romance. "Alex, you're killing yourself," Mark warned one night, holding him as he cried over bills. "She needs to understand boundaries." But Alex couldn't bear disappointing her. He remembered his own father's rejection. "No son of mine is a fag." He'd vowed Emily would never feel abandoned. The breaking point came at a family dinner, or what passed for one. Emily and Jason visited the apartment, now cluttered with wedding samples. Mark was there cooking pasta. Conversation flowed until Jason casually mentioned, "So, Alex, you'll walk Emily down the aisle solo, right? Keep it traditional." The implication hung heavy. No Mark in the ceremony. Emily avoided Alex's gaze. "Actually," Alex said, voice steady, "I'd like Mark there too. He's part of my life." Emily's face flushed. "Dad, this is about me, not your lifestyle. Jason's family is conservative. They might not understand." The argument exploded. Words flew like shrapnel. Emily accusing Alex of making everything about his identity. Alex pleading for acceptance. "I've given you everything," he shouted. "And now you want to hide me?" She stormed out, Jason trailing awkwardly. Days later, the ultimatum call at 2 a.m. Alex hung up. Numb. How had love turned to this? He wandered to the window, staring at the city lights, wondering if his choices had doomed them both. Mark arrived soon after, wrapping Alex in his arms. "We'll get through this," he whispered. But Alex doubted it. The pain was raw. A father's heart shattered by the child he'd built his world around. As dawn broke, he realized this was just the beginning of unraveling threads long ignored. In the days following Emily's call, Alex's world contracted to the size of his apartment. He called in sick to work, ignoring emails from clients. Mark stayed over, brewing coffee and forcing him to eat, but even his presence felt like a reminder of the divide. "Talk to me, Alex," Mark urged one evening, as they sat on the worn couch. Alex shook his head. "What if she's right? What if I've forced my life on her?" Mark's eyes softened. "You've been authentic. That's not forcing anything." Authenticity, a word Alex had clung to since coming out. But now it felt like a curse. He replayed memories. Emily's bat mitzvah, where whispers about his single status buzzed, her prom, where he chaperoned alone while other dads had wives. He'd shielded her from the worst, the slurs at Pride, the judgmental glances in grocery stores. But had he, or had she absorbed it all, resenting him silently? Desperate for perspective, Alex attended his LGBTQ parents' group meeting in Greenwich Village. The room was filled with stories like his, kids rebelling against non-normative upbringings. One man shared how his son cut ties after college, blaming him for bullying endured. "It hurts," the man said, "but sometimes they need space to process." Alex nodded, but inside, rage simmered. Space. After he'd given up dreams of travel, romance, even health checkups to prioritize her. Meanwhile, Emily threw herself into wedding prep, avoiding Alex's texts. In her sleek Manhattan loft, shared with Jason, she confided in friends over wine. "My dad's being impossible," she'd say. "He promised to help, but now he's backing out." She omitted the fight over Mark, the deeper rift. Jason supported her, his Wall Street ambition mirroring her own drive as a marketing exec. "Family's complicated," he'd say, but his tone implied Alex was the complication. The first crack in Emily's resolve came at a bridal shower. Her Aunt Sarah's sister pulled her aside. "Where's your dad? He raised you single-handedly." Emily bristled. "He's busy." But the question lingered. That night, she scrolled through old photos. Alex at her graduations, beaming, teaching her to ride a bike, comforting her after breakups. Tears came unbidden. Was she punishing him for being himself? Alex, sensing the impasse, made a bold move. He emailed Emily a heartfelt letter. "I've loved you unconditionally. If my relationship with Mark makes you uncomfortable, I'll step back for your day. But please, don't shut me out." He hit send, heart racing. Hours later, a reply, "Fine. Pay the deposit by Friday and you can come." Alone. Relief mixed with bitterness. He wired the money, borrowing from his 401k, knowing it jeopardized his retirement. Mark was furious. "You're enabling her entitlement." They argued fiercely, Mark storming out for the first time. Alone again, Alex questioned everything. Was love about sacrifice or self-respect? He called his estranged brother, the only family left, who surprisingly answered. Alex, you did good by that girl. But don't let her walk over you. It was the first kind word from family in decades. As the wedding neared, tensions escalated. Emily demanded Alex attend fittings but exclude Mark from conversations. At one session, the tailor asked about the father-daughter dance. Traditional, Emily snapped. Alex swallowed his pride. But inside, resentment built. He'd come out to live truthfully, yet here he was hiding again. One night, Mark returned with takeout and an ultimatum of his own. I love you, Alex, but I can't watch you destroy yourself. If you don't stand up for us, I'm out. The words hit like a gut punch. Alex realized the cost. Not just financial but emotional. He traded his happiness for Emily's approval. But at what price? The next day, Alex met Emily for coffee in Midtown. We need to talk, he said. She arrived, guarded. About the money? No, about us. He laid it bare. The years of suppression, the joy Mark brought, the pain of her rejection. Emily listened, eyes downcast. I didn't realize, she murmured. But defenses rose. You've always made it about you being gay. What about me? Growing up without a mom, dealing with stares. The conversation turned raw, accusations flying. Emily admitted her shame at school events, the fear Jason's family would judge. Alex countered with his own wounds. Disownment, loneliness. For the first time, they saw each other's scars. But resolution? Not yet. Emily left abruptly, saying, I need time. Back home, Alex confided in Mark, who held him. That was brave. But doubt crept in. Had he pushed too hard? As invites went out, Mark's name absent. Alex felt the noose tighten. The wedding loomed, a powder keg of unspoken truths. With the wedding 2 months away, Alex threw himself into damage control. He worked overtime, designing logos for extra cash to cover the escalating costs Emily kept adding. Custom invitations, a photo booth with vintage props. Each Venmo request chipped at his resolve, but he paid, clinging to hope. Mark, sensing the strain, suggested couples therapy. For us, he said. Alex agreed, and in their first session, the therapist probed, What are you afraid of losing? Alex's answer surprised him. Not just Emily, but the father I thought I was. Therapy unearthed buried resentments. Alex admitted resenting Sarah for leaving, Emily for demanding perfection. Mark shared his own past, a failed marriage before coming out, kids who accepted him fully. It takes time, Mark said. But time was a luxury Alex didn't have. Emily's calls were sporadic, focused on logistics. Dad, the florist needs payment. No mention of their coffee talk. Emily, meanwhile, grappled with turmoil. At work, she snapped at colleagues, her focus shattered. Jason noticed. Babe, talk to your dad. But pride held her back. One evening, she visited her mother in California. A rare trip. Sarah, remarried and distant, listened to Emily's rant. He's always been dramatic, Sarah said dismissively, but then softer. He loved you more than I could. Don't throw that away. The words stung, forcing Emily to confront her abandonment issues. Had she projected them onto Alex? Back in New York, Emily attended a bachelorette party, but her mind wandered. Friends toasted her perfect life, but it felt hollow. That night, drunk dialing Alex, she sobbed, Why couldn't you be normal? Alex, awake with insomnia, listened. Normal hurt me, Em. Hiding who I am nearly killed me. The call ended in silence, but a seed was planted. The next conflict erupted at the rehearsal dinner venue Scout. Alex arrived with Mark uninvited, testing boundaries. Emily's eyes widened. What is he doing here? Jason intervened awkwardly. Mark spoke calmly. I'm here for Alex. The group tensed, Jason's parents exchanging glances. Emily pulled Alex aside. You're ruining this. No, Alex said firmly. I'm showing you love isn't conditional. She fumed, but didn't ask them to leave. Post-Scout, Mark and Alex walked home through rainy streets. That was progress, Mark said. Alex nodded, but anxiety gnawed. Later, Emily texted, "Fine, Mark can come. But no speeches about your journey." It was a concession but laced with control. As invites arrived, whispers spread. Jason's conservative uncle RSVP'd no, citing family values. Emily blamed Alex. "See what you've done?" In a heated call, she accused him of sabotage. Alex defended, "This is who I am. If they can't accept it, that's on them." The argument peaked with Emily's cruel jab. "Maybe Mom left because of you." Alex hung up, shattered. Mark comforted him, but the wound festered. Seeking solace, Alex volunteered at a youth LGBTQ center, mentoring teens facing rejection. One boy's story mirrored his own. Disowned for being gay. "How do you move on?" the boy asked. Alex paused. "You build a new family." Hit him he'd let Emily define his worth. Emily's awakening came unexpectedly. At a bridal boutique, trying on veils, she overheard two women gossiping about a gay dad's story online. It echoed hers. Rushing home, she researched. Forums filled with kids of LGBTQ parents sharing regrets, but also reconciliations. One post, "I cut off my dad for being trans. Worst mistake. Love him now." Tears flowed. Was she repeating cycles? She called Alex, voice trembling. "Can we meet? Really talk." They chose a neutral spot. The Brooklyn Bridge, symbolic of connections. Under sunny skies, Emily opened up. Childhood confusion, teen embarrassment, adult pressure to fit in. "I love you, Dad. But it's hard." Alex shared his side. The fear of losing her, the joy of authenticity. "Mark makes me happy. Can't you see that?" Emily nodded slowly. "I'm trying." The meeting ended in hugs, tentative peace. But undercurrents remained. Emily agreed to include Mark fully, but Jason hesitated. "My career," he muttered. Emily stood firm. "If you can't accept my family, maybe this wedding isn't right." Jason backed down, but resentment simmered. As the big day approached, Alex felt a mix of hope and dread. Payments drained him. He sold his car for the final bill. Mark worried, "Your health, Alex." Indeed, stress triggered migraines. But he pushed on, determined. The night before the wedding, a bombshell. Sarah called Emily, revealing she'd left not just because of Alex's sexuality, but her own affairs. "He covered for me to protect you." Emily reeled, seeing Alex's sacrifices anew. The wedding day dawned crisp in June, the Plaza Hotel gleaming under Manhattan sun. Alex adjusted his tie in the mirror, Mark beside him. "You look handsome," Mark said, kissing his cheek. Alex smiled, but nerves churned. Would today heal or break them? He arrived early, helping with setup, his presence a quiet statement. Emily, in her suite, paced in her gown. Makeup artists buzzed, but her mind raced. Sarah's revelation had flipped her world. Alex hadn't just raised her. He'd shielded her from pain. Guilt weighed heavy. When Alex knocked, she opened the door, eyes misty. "Dad." They embraced, words unnecessary at first. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "For everything." Alex pulled back. "Me too. For not seeing your hurt sooner." The ceremony unfolded flawlessly. Vows exchanged. Rings slipped on. Alex walked Emily down the aisle, pride swelling. Mark sat in the front row, included. But during photos, Jason's family posed stiffly, avoiding Mark. Whispers reached Alex. Unnatural. He ignored them, focusing on Emily's joy. At the reception, toasts flowed. Jason's father spoke of traditional values. A subtle dig. Emily tensed. When Alex's turn came, he stood, voice steady. "Emily, you've been my greatest gift. Loving you taught me to love myself. And Mark, thank you for being my partner in this." The room hushed. Some applauded. Others shifted uncomfortably. Emily smiled through tears, but Jason frowned. Dancing began. Father-daughter sway turned emotional. "I get it now, Dad," Emily said. "Your happiness matters too." Alex's heart soared, but joy was short-lived. Midway through, Jason pulled Emily aside. "Your dad's speech embarrassed my clients here. Emily defended. It's who he is. Jason snapped. Maybe, but it's affecting us. The argument escalated in a side room, voices rising. Alex overheard, intervening. This is her day. Let it be. Jason turned on him. You've caused enough drama. Words escalated. Jason accusing Alex of selfishness. Alex retorting about acceptance. Emily, torn, sided with Jason initially. Dad, maybe tone it down. Betrayal stabbed Alex. After all I've done? The fight spilled subtly into the hall. Guests noticed. Mark pulled Alex away. Let's go. But Alex refused. I won't run. Emily, regretting her words, chased after. Wait. In the lobby, truths poured. Emily admitted her fears of societal judgment mirroring Jason's. I thought marrying him would make me normal. Alex's eyes widened. You deserve better than hiding. Jason approached, apologetic but firm. I love her, but this lifestyle isn't for our future. The ultimatum hung. Accept or else. Emily's face hardened. Then maybe you're not for my future. Shock rippled. Jason stormed off, leaving guests bewildered. The reception faltered. Emily announced a family emergency, ending early. Guests left confused. In the aftermath, Emily collapsed in Alex's arms. What have I done? Mark comforted her too. You chose truth. The next hours were chaos. Calls to vendors, explanations. Jason texted apologies, but Emily ignored. She stayed with Alex that night, the apartment a refuge. Over tea, she unpacked years of internalized shame. I blamed you for Mom leaving, for feeling different. Alex listened, sharing his own battles. We both hid parts of ourselves. Mark's presence grounded them. Family isn't blood. It's choice. Emily nodded, seeing him anew. But the cost was steep. Wedding gifts returned, deposits lost. Alex's finances were ruined, he'd paid most. Now unrecoverable. I'll manage, he said, but worry etched his face. Days later, Emily filed for annulment. Jason begged, but she stood firm. I won't live a lie. Friends divided. Some supported, others called her rash. Social media buzzed with rumors, amplifying pain. Alex faced his own reckoning. Creditors called. He considered bankruptcy. Mark offered to move in, share burdens. We're in this together. Alex accepted, a step toward healing. But scars remained. Emily moved back temporarily, job hunting amid fallout. Therapy became family sessions, unearthing more. Alex's suppressed grief over disownment. Emily's abandonment fears. One session, the therapist asked, what did you lose? What did you gain? Emily, a fake life for real love. Alex, silence for voice. Yet doubt lingered. Had the confrontation been worth the wreckage? As summer faded, bonds strengthened. Emily attended Pride with them openly. But society pushed back. Lost friends, judgmental stares. Alex wondered if he'd inadvertently forced her into his world. In the wake of the wedding disaster, Alex's life became a tightrope of recovery. Bankruptcy loomed. He sold heirlooms to pay debts. Mark's salary helped, but pride stung. I should have said no sooner, Alex confessed one night, as they packed boxes for a smaller place. Mark squeezed his hand. You did what you thought was right. Emily, crashing on their couch, jobless after quitting amid scandal, wrestled with regret. I blew up my life. But glimpses of freedom emerged. She volunteered at the LGBTQ center with Alex, connecting with others' stories. I see now how hard it was for you, she told him. Alex smiled. And for you. Reconciliation with Jason faltered. He called, pleading, we can fix this quietly. Emily met him at a cafe, but his apologies rang hollow. You never accepted Dad fully, Jason admitted. I was scared of what people think. They parted amicably, but the split was final. Emily grieved the dream, but not the man. Societal backlash intensified. Emily's social circle shrank. Old friends ghosted. Online, anonymous trolls attacked. Spoiled girl ruins wedding over gay dad drama. She deactivated accounts, but the sting lingered. Alex faced it too. Clients dropped him, citing personal issues. Bigotry masked as business, Mark said. In therapy, they dissected choices. Was standing up worth the cost? The therapist asked. Emily, yes, but it hurts. Alex pondered his enabling. Had endless sacrifices bred entitlement? I wanted to prove a gay dad could be perfect. Mark challenged. Perfection's a myth. Authenticity isn't. A turning point came when Alex's brother visited. Bridges mending after years. Proud of you, he said awkwardly. It bolstered Alex. Emily, inspired, applied for grad school in social work, focusing on LGBTQ families. To help others like us. But conflicts resurfaced. During a family dinner, Emily snapped at Mark over a minor suggestion. You're not my dad. Silence fell. Alex mediated. He's family now. Emily apologized, but tensions revealed. Adjusting to the new dynamic was hard. Financial strain peaked when Alex's health faltered. A stress-induced heart scare landed him in ER. Emily rushed there, guilt-ridden. This is my fault. Alex reassured. No, it's life's. Mark stayed by his side, proving his commitment. Discharged, Alex reflected. Sacrifices had limits. Emily's awakening deepened. She wrote a blog post anonymously. Growing up with a gay dad. The love and the lies. It went viral, drawing support and hate. Messages poured in. Kids sharing similar stories. Parents offering advice. One from Sarah. I'm sorry for my part. Emily replied cautiously, opening dialogue. As fall arrived, stability returned. Alex landed freelance gigs. Emily got accepted to school with scholarships. They moved to a cozy Queens home, Mark included. Evenings filled with laughter, board games, a chosen family. Yet betrayals echoed. A former friend leaked details to tabloids, twisting the story. Gay dad's demands destroy daughter's dream wedding. Paparazzi hounded them briefly. Emily confronted the friend. Why? Jealousy, came the reply. Taught her about true loyalty. Alex faced moral dilemmas. Forgive Emily fully? He'd paid dearly emotionally and financially. In a quiet moment, he told her, I love you, but boundaries now. Emily agreed, vowing to contribute. Mark proposed subtly one evening, a ring in hand. Will you? Alex, tearful, said yes. Emily cheered, planning a small ceremony intimate, no extravagance. Learned my lesson, she joked. The engagement brought joy but shadows. Jason's family sued for shared costs, claiming fraud. Lawyers advised settlement. Alex paid what he could, depleting savings again. Worth it for peace, he said. Through it, growth emerged. Emily advocated publicly, speaking at events. Acceptance starts at home. Alex beamed, seeing her thrive. But questions haunted. Had the original betrayal been inevitable? Was society's pressure the true villain? As winter neared, they gathered for Thanksgiving. Alex, Mark, Emily, even Sarah via video. Toasts to resilience. Yet undercurrents of what-ifs remained. With the new year approaching, Alex and Mark's wedding planning contrasted sharply with Emily's fiasco. A backyard affair in Queens, friends and found family only. Emily helped enthusiastically, budgeting carefully. No plaza this time, she laughed. Alex appreciated her shift, but wariness lingered, trust rebuilt slowly. Emily's grad school started, immersing her in studies on family dynamics. Classes challenged her. Readings on internalized homophobia, societal norms. She shared insights with Alex. I see now how I contributed to your pain. Alex nodded. We both did. The lawsuit resolved amicably, but drained resources. Alex took a second job teaching design at a community college, where students inspired him. One, a young gay man, confided family rejection. Alex mentored, build your own path. It echoed his journey. Mark's family, accepting from the start, visited often, providing support Emily never had from Sarah's side. Holidays blended traditions, healing old voids. But a final test came when Emily dated again, a woman, surprisingly. "I'm bi," she confessed shyly. Alex hugged her. "Welcome to the club." It deepened their bond, but stirred irony. Had his openness paved her way, or pressured her? Society's gaze persisted. At Pride, a protester heckled, "Ruining families." Emily stood tall. "Love strengthens them." Media interest waned, but scars reminded. A random stare, a whispered slur. In therapy's final session, they reflected. "We've come far," the therapist said. Alex agreed, from cutoff to closeness. Emily, but at what cost? The question hung. Alex's health improved with routine. Finances stabilized. Mark's promotion helped. They married in spring, vows heartfelt. Through betrayals and awakenings, "I choose you," Emily officiated, tears flowing. "You've shown me what love means." Post-wedding, life normalized. Emily moved out, thriving independently. Visits were frequent, conversations deep. Yet, Alex pondered the moral maze. Sacrifices versus self-preservation, acceptance versus assimilation. Emily's blog evolved into a book deal, chronicling their story. To spark dialogue, she said. One evening, over dinner, they debated, "Was cutting you off my rock bottom, or necessary wake-up?" Alex, "Both. Pain forces growth." The story closes on a quiet note. Alex and Mark walking in the park, Emily joining. Laughter mixes with lingering what-ifs. They've chosen forgiveness, but the path was paved with loss. Was Emily's initial betrayal justified by her unprocessed trauma, or was it an unforgivable act of selfishness?